Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to be discussing your digital audience and its stickiness with your digital products. So what does this mean? We're all super used to seeing a count of customers that interact with your mobile game or online business daily, which is DAU, daily active users. But what we want to know is how strong of a connection do you have with your digital audience? So what we're going to do today is in MySQL, we're going to add an additional trend line. And what it is the percent of DAU with consecutive login days over the last week. So what we're asking is, what percentage of your DAU had a consecutive login day over the last week? Meaning they logged in on back-to-back days. So both Monday and Tuesday, or Thursday and Friday, or Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'm going to show you how to do this now, and whatever the outcome is, you'll have a better idea of the stickiness of your digital product with your digital audience. So let's go. Okay, so we're going to start with just a table of customer logins. Here are a few sample records. We can call this customers. We want the customer ID. And then we want the login date. The next thing we want to do is we want to get a trailing 7-day look back, because we want to see this player or this customer that logged in over the last week, did they have a consecutive login day? Meaning, did they log in on back-to-back days like Thursday and Friday? So we'll do this now. So we're going to join on customer ID between these two tables. And the login date from the second table, or table 2, needs to be less than or equal to this login date from table 1. And the login date from table 2 must be greater than 7 days ago from the login date in table 1, because we want to bring back a trailing 7 days of data per customer per login date. Okay, so what this join is going to do is per customer and per login date from table 2 is going to bring back the last 7 login dates. Let's bring back a few records. And let's look at one customer example. Okay, so let's use this customer ID right here. Okay, great. So if we look at this one customer example, we have this customer and their login dates. And for each login date, we brought across the trailing 7 login dates if they logged in at all over the last trailing 7 days. So as you can see, this customer logged in on 10/20/2022, and you can also see that they logged in on the 17th of October, the 18th, and the 20th. And the 20th is because we included this equal sign here in the join. If you look at 10/18, it looks like that they logged in on 10/18 because, again, this equal sign, and then on the day before that, October 17th. Great, so that's just one customer example where per customer and login date, we're bringing across the last trailing 7-day login dates if they logged in. Okay, so now we have the last 7 days of login dates per customer per login date. So let's put this in a subselect here. Call this guess. And here are the last 7 days of historical login dates per customer per login date. Now, the next thing we need to do is we're going to use a window function to get the leading historical login date so that we can compare the historical login date here to the leading historical login date and see if the difference of days is equal to 1. That would indicate that they logged in on 2 back-to-back days, like Monday and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So let's do that. We'll do lead, partition by. We want to do this per customer ID and login date, and we want to order this by historical login dates ascendingly. Let's run a few examples. Okay, great. So this worked, and I have a perfect example that we can look at right now. We have this customer that logged in on September 20th, 2024. That's basically our DAU, or the blue area of our chart earlier in this tutorial. And then what we did is we brought back the last 7 days of logins for this specific player. That's inclusive of the September 20th, 2024 date. As you can see, there are historical login dates of September 17th, 18th, and 20th, right? And then with this window function column here, what we did is for each of these historical login dates, we asked, is there a leading date partitioned by the customer ID and login date? So for September 17th, yes, they did log in on September 18th. And then on September 18th, there was a leading login date on September 20th. But here's the catch. What we're going to do is we're going to do a difference in days between this value and this value. And if the value returned as 1, we know that this player logged in on back-to-back days over the last 7 days or trailing week. So for example, this customer logged in on September 20th. We looked at the last 7 days of data, the last 7 days of login data, and it returned 3 dates. And then we ordered these dates by taking the leading date. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a difference in days between the value here and the value here. And if it equals 1, it means that, hey, over the last week, this customer did indeed have a consecutive login day, a Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Saturday, Sunday, or something like that. However, if the value returned from the difference in days is greater than 1, then we know that they did log in twice, but it wasn't a consecutive login day. So let's go ahead and do that now. Do the login date, and we'll do logins.customer ID. If we do a count distinct here, this is just DAU, daily active users. And then we'll do case when date diff between this leading historical login date and the historical login date equals 1, then we're going to do a count distinct of those customers. Okay, we are ready to go. So let's fire off this query. Okay, great. So here's our data. Let's move this over to Excel. Okay, so here we are in Excel. Column B is just DAU, daily active users, so it's just a count of customers that interact with your online business on a daily basis per day. And then this column here, column C, this represents of the DAU that had a consecutive login day over the last week. Meaning over the last week, not only did they log in, but they had a consecutive login day, meaning they logged in on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that. So let's recreate that analysis. Let's just take this value here and divide it by DAU. Let's rebuild that analysis. We'll make DAU an area chart and put the percentage of that DAU that had a consecutive login day over the last week on a second axis. And here we are. Here is our final analysis. This is great because you have DAU, daily active users, and then you get to see the percentage of that DAU who over the last week had a consecutive login day, meaning they logged in both Monday and Tuesday or Thursday and Friday or something like that. I think this is a great analysis because it shows you how strong of a connection you have with your digital audience. If you like this content, please continue to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I hope you found this useful.